Given the fact that you have said significant cuts in our state budget will be necessary over the next several years, where do you see these cuts coming from?
Well, as we've discussed earlier, I think there's been a scare tactic that's worked quite effectively for the legislators over the last several years. And that is that without increasing taxes, we will have to take from the schools. We'll have to take from the local aid. And that's basically wrong. The budgeting process has been done in a fashion that, to use an analogy, there's a piece of cake. They take everything they need out of that big piece of cake, and then they push whatever crumbs are left out to the towns in their local aid. And I think that is absolutely wrong. I believe that the cuts need to be made in the size of the state government that we have. The cuts need to be made by consolidating departments, by repealing the Pacheco law, by not engaging in project labor agreements that cost the taxpayers more. There are ways we can make those differences on Beacon Hill without affecting local aid and aid for the people most vulnerable, the people most needy in the Commonwealth that we do need to take care of. I think that it's important that we look at the fact that all efforts in that area have been dismissed. In just the last budget season alone, the Republican caucus put forward, I believe, $1.2 billion in budget cuts that were reasonable and mostly affected the size of our government and not local aid, and all of them were summarily dismissed. I have a strong hope that there will be a lot of like-minded people going to Beacon Hill with me this January, all with the idea to change the size of our government and recognize that it's not the duty, it's not the responsibility of the taxpayers to support the government. As that legislator said, a local legislator, the private sector can no longer afford to hold up the public sector. It's time for us to make the cuts in the public sector so that the private sector will get some relief.